Day 17 of our devotional. Hi, this is Dennis Gallagher. And this devotional begins with a passage of Scripture, not out of the Gospels, but out of the book of Galatians. But when the right time came, God sent his Son, born of a woman, subject to the law. God sent him to buy freedom for us who were slaves to the law, so that he could adopt us as his very own children. And because we are his children, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, prompting us to call out, Abba, Abba, Father. Now you are no longer a slave, but God's own child. And since you are his child, God has made you his heir. When the right time came. Following that statement are the sacred details of sending, submission, and subjection. God sent him to buy freedom for us who were slaves to the law so that he could adopt us as his very own children. Next, the outcome is described in the broadest terms of freedom and adoption. It says this, and because you Gentiles have become his children, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, and now you can call God your dear Father. Now you're no longer a slave, but you're God's own child. And since you are his child, everything he has belongs to you. And finally, the results. My heart is filled with acceptance. My station in life transforms from slave to child of God. My future changes from empty to the inheritance of royalty. The writer captures the entirety of redemption in a handful of words, but what could not be described as the great heartache of heaven that waited for all of the pieces to finally be in place. The old language is fullness, describing not only the completeness of the moment, but the anticipation of the event. Little Mary waited 9 long months, but the womb of redemption waited for 4,000 years from the garden to the manger and was filled with dark days, absent of the grace that was to come. You're probably waiting for him right now, waiting for a change, waiting for a blessing, waiting for a healing. The beauty of the redemption story is that God only waited as long as was needed for the full measure of grace to be released to the world. You wait on the one who created a holy purpose in waiting. You wait on the one who promises that the inheritance of royalty is for those who wait. David, the shepherd king, said it best in Psalm 40. He said, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me. He heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and out of the mire, and he set my feet on a rock, and he gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. I don't know about you, but my heart cries out, teach me, Lord. Teach me, Lord. Teach me to wait. Are you waiting on God today? Wait with anticipation. Wait with the anticipation that knows that God has prepared for us a blessing. Why? Because we're no longer slaves. We're sons. We're daughters. We're children of the King. God bless you as you wait. I'm waiting too.